it's one of those days you don't want to do it, right? You're just exhausted.
I had plenty of those.
So what did it look like on those days? What are you doing mentally? What were your strategies?
Well, waking up on those days, and I tell kids this, and not just kids, but parents, because when I talk to kids sometimes, there's parents in the room, and I'm like, raise your hand if you've ever had one of those days where you don't want to get out of bed, and all the kids raise their hand, and like none of the parents, I'm like, okay, mom and dad, I know you've had those days too, and they're all kind of like, but it's true. I mean, regardless of if you're training 7 hours a day, 6 days a week, or you work at an insurance company or a clothing store, or whatever it is that your job is, or just in life, in a marriage, in a relationship, we're all going to have those days where we wake up and we just like want to say, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hard. It's easier to just throw my hands up in the air and walk away. And then what I would tell myself is, okay, like, that's the easy way out, but tomorrow or the next day when you're feeling a little bit better, you're gonna regret that. And so growing up, my mom had this rule, and this has just stuck with me for the rest of my life, regardless of doing sports or business or just in life. And I would come home from the gym sometimes, and a lot of times in tears, telling her, this is just too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. I hate gymnastics. I'm in pain. I really just don't want to do this. And she would say, okay, that's totally fine. Like, you don't have to do gymnastics anymore. It was really interesting because she was just like, okay, well, you can quit, but not today. You have to go back to the gym the next day and the next day and the next day until you have one good day. And of course, I rolled my eyes and I would say, but I don't want to go back to the gym tomorrow. And she was like, look, I'm never going to force you or push you into gymnastics except for today. And you can quit after you have a good day. So, and some days this would be 3 days, 5 days later, and some days it would be the next day when I would have a good day. And because moms always know when we have a good day without even saying anything, I would come home and she would say, okay, great, now that you've had a good day, you can quit, we'll enroll you back into public school, find another activity that you want to do. And I would look at her and say, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said I wanted to quit. So the moral of that story for me was that we're all going to have these days where it just feels like it's too hard. We don't want to do it anymore. And you want to quit. And that's okay, but you can't quit or give up on those days. And I tell these young girls that, it's okay if your passion changes, because we're not all meant to have or love the same things, right? We're not all going to fall in love with gymnastics and love it forever or have this passion for it, but you can't change your mind or quit on those days. You can change your mind and try something else if you're having a good day and you just in your mind, you think, this might not be for me, let me try something else.